What up, everybody? Sorry about last video. I just got set up with a brand new dual monitor, new mic, new light, new computer, and all that stuff. To help with the quality of these videos, shout out Chris and IT Works for hooking me up on that. A good friend of mine. And I haven't quite figured it out yet. I've never been that techie, so that could be part of the problem. I thought I had the mic thing figured out, and I didn't. I know there's a little bit of static right now, and I'm working on that um, as I'm going through some of these. But I wasn't able to make a video the last couple days because I was working on getting this set up, and I've been pretty busy with my regular job as well. But let's not miss out on any more action on what's going on, especially in TXC today is what we're going to focus on. Yesterday you saw me come in. I had $100. I came over here and I converted it from USDC to USDT because that is what TXC is paired with. And at the time, we were trading around the 333 range. Whenever I'm placing buys and I'm looking to get in, also driving the market and such, I always check the order book because I place limit orders and not market orders. You'll see people place market orders, and what a market order is going to do is just automatically fill the quantity that you set, no matter what price it takes to get there, as fast as possible. So if there are no orders set up to fulfill you at the price that you think you're getting, you could get a very different price than what you're anticipating if you're placing market orders. Market orders are built for a full book, and even then, you're not going to get the price that you see. A lot of times, you'll see this middle or this spread, and you're going to end up filling it down to here. It might take one or two orders for depending what size you're doing. Even large coins like Bitcoin, it shows this middle is 89.05, but 88.88 is the first buy. So if I was placing a market sell, I'm not getting this 89.9. I'm getting the 89.8. Just the same as if I was placing a market buy, I'm not getting the 89.04. I'm getting 89.18. So just something to be mindful of when you're placing the orders are to set limit orders. Um, even coming in and placing aggressive buys to incite pressure and momentum to the market. You place those limits above the ask, and it's going to sit there and be like, well, why don't you just place a market order? It's just for the algorithms to see that there are orders going in above the ask, and not trying to just dip in or not trying to catch a big pullback. And the reason for that is these algorithms and the patterns that the charts play along with the bots and everything. um, Not just the bots like that you are setting up, whether it be a third party source or with Pi and X's bot. um, but the market makers are doing these too. They're searching for liquidity and to make orders happen. So these market makers are going to drive the price to where the most orders are. So as you can see, most of the buys are way down here. There are very few buys up here at 319. So guess where this price is going to try to push to get buy orders filled? Because you could place all the sells in the world up here, and you're not going to make the price come up here because these are not going to get filled until buy orders are there. But the algorithms and the market makers are going to search to fill these orders. It doesn't always happen. Something can come in and change it. A large buy can come in and change the direction very quickly. But if you keep placing low buys, you're driving the price down because it's looking to fill that order. Um, so I came in and I bought $100 yesterday, last night after I got back from work. Um, and I nabbed 29 TXC at 33, 32, or whatever was the average. So sad to see that we are down again, and we are below every moving average, which is a bearish sign of continuance that we were looking to go down more. Oh, it's only going to do it up there? I don't want to do it up there. I wanted to do it down here. Okay, I will look on Coin Market Cap once I get going. Pionex is one of the smaller liquidity exchanges. It's kind of, well, I guess it's more in the middle. If you look at Coin Market Cap, the on the exchange volume, Pionex is kind of on the lower side of the middle. This often gets above 30 now. Is kind of its consistency thing. It did pass Biconomy. Biconomy was in the $40,000 to $50,000 a day, and it's tailed off quite a bit. And Jew.com is now up here in the 40,000. So interesting there. The the big ones are Bitmart, DexTrade, and MEXC. The reason DexTrade is big is because that's where most of the investors and traders started. It was the first exchange that TXC was on. So there's probably always going to be some of the OGs are out there, but Bitmart, MEXC, and then Biconomy are the three main ones that the Jesus. Sorry. Bitmart, MEXC, Biconomy are the three main ones that are. Do not disturb me. The market makers that are trying to facilitate and build the liquidity out. That's why those ones are the highest. So Bitmart is significantly higher. So let's take a peek at Bitmart. So when there's the higher volume, the higher liquidity, the movements and the price is going to be more true and not as affected by single orders. Somebody comes in and puts a $500 order on Pionex, they're going to move the price, clearing the order book by themselves. Where with Bitmart, a $500 order. These are all very small orders, but won't move it as drastically. The price wise, we're looking at a current mid price of $3.20, and $54 will move it up to $3.23. So still very small order book, to where a little bit of buying pressure would go a long way in building this up. And selling. So if you sold 135, you're going to drop the price down to 317, and getting you 427. And then the top side order book is only for 16 TXC, so it's there. That selling pressure is there, but it's just more consistent, and that's one because of the algorithms, and two from people who are probably taking daily profits. These orders and this flow is not from somebody dumping out and trying to exit their position. It doesn't strike me as that price, so I don't have any fear in that. It's literally just waiting for the buying consistency to pick up. Is all we're really doing. So if we're gonna look at this real quick, let's go to this. We'll use that one. So I plotted at the base where both of these candles were mirrored, and then it set up. It was a full candle before this large move up. This ray to a similar candle pattern where they block and match each other, very mirrored like, and then obviously it's right before we drop down, and then we had the test here. Even though this test doesn't touch it, it is honoring it and coming to it and respectfully going up. It could move it up a little bit to catch this one, this one, this one. And if you see that, the wicks are where we're normally looking. So let's look at where the wicks are. And that one, wick, goes through this where it built up and turned. And then it built up a bunch here, and then it was technically the point of drop. So that one might be a little bit more accurate as far as our support. So let's delete that one. And this was the uptrend support that we had established back around the middle of November. we're building that up and kind of lost it. There was an attempt to get back over. That's where the large wick that came back and above failed to reclaim it, and so now we're back in a downtrend. I like using the 4 hour because it ignores those erratic breakouts or erratic moves from one or two large orders. And with TXC, we got kind of a lot of those because we're such small liquidity. Um, doesn't take much to affect the order flow. It's or the order book. I'm sorry, and you can really change direction with smaller moves. Which is why I say you don't have to come in and do $100 a day or $500 a day or save up and buy $1,000 because those erratic spikes are not going to build the consistency. What will really build the consistency is if you're buying $10 or $20 at a time. It could all be in the same day, but continuous buying pressure is what's going to push this price up if we're trying to build the price back up. If you're one that's wanting to contribute to getting um, price allocation and market value up, then you're buying anything under $4 really, as that's kind of been this resistance zone. And then if you believe in the path to 16, 4 times 4 is 16. So to buy as much as you can under 4 is a gift. And if it's at 322 or 333 or 380, it is profitable for the long term investment side of it. If you're trading, obviously you want to get in a good position so that you can turn and make profit. Um, and you want to make sure you get 320 to sell at 350 to buy at 330 to sell at 360 and go back and forth like that. So if you're trading actively, of course you want to get that perfect position in and perfect position out kind of thing. But if you're looking at this at an investment standpoint and you're trying to build the value to show a better value, we're looking for more consistency in the buys, smaller orders, and at or above the ask. Doesn't have to be a market buy. Um, because if you do a market buy with a very large order, you could cause this spike and then immediately comes down because you wipe out the order book. So when you're looking at this order book, say I did a market buy, and right now the top side of this order book is for $155. So say I did a $175 market buy, I would wipe out this plus more above it, and it would scramble to place those orders. Currently, there are no buys even in that range, so it would spike up and then immediately fall down as a lot of these orders are going to stay here, except for the bot orders. The bot orders will cancel and move up and fill, but they'll fill very quickly, and then the price will just as quickly as it went up come back down. And that's why we get up and then right back down, up and then right back down. Again, consistent buying pressure, more orders, more of these 14 quantity stacks or even the 3 quantity, and just and place them throughout. If they fill right away, great. If you want to place it for 322 or 322.44, that's an order that I would place. It's funny. Just slightly above. Uh, I'm sorry, that's on the outside. But if you were to place it just slightly above, but you place it for more, so right now this is 14 TXC is what it is, so $50. Say you placed $70, but you use this price, and then it's going to move the price up to this until somebody sells down to you. So what you're doing is moving up that floor and creating a new base. So even you could do 322.10, you could do 322.2 flat and do it for 10. You'll get the 3 right away, and the other 7 are going to create this order right here that moves this mid up and then now makes the cells come down to fill the order instead of making the cells come down to get these orders. Now the cells are going to come down to get this order, and then that's going to make all these buys trace up with you. Kind of a ladder strategy of moving the price up just slightly. You don't want to spike it to create a false move out or a false breakout if nothing is going to come behind it. Is kind of the thing that I've noticed with TXC. Anytime that there's a good breakout, whether it be a little bit of a nudge or liquidity injection, or if people come in and start buying, it's not followed up and it doesn't last long enough. indicators. I want to see the volume. Oh, I think it only shows on the 24 hours. Why? So we did have really good volume. Oh, we don't want to see that random day. We're going to look. We did lose. This was, I was hoping for the December 7th with the parade and everything going on that we were going to claim over this and get right and a nice breakout. I knew this test was coming, which way was going to be stronger, the downtrend or the uptrend. And the uptrend lost, and we're still in this hard downtrend. But we did have really good volume yesterday. $1.15 million. The last 24 hours, we're looking at $1.36 million. It's up 100% from the normal. And that's probably because it's combining yesterday with some of today because it hasn't fully closed. Yeah. But 578 on the 4th is also very good volume. You know, getting over 500,000 is over 500 or is over 100,000 coins a day being circulated, and that is what I've been kind of looking for. And then we had 680, 790, 660. Look at that. Oh, that's the one that we don't like. So November 29th was under 400, and that was kind of the old average. So let's see. That was on the 29th. So the 30th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days of over 500,000 is fantastic. Um, there are a lot more investors and traders in the TXC market, and that is proving to be much healthier as this right here. We're seeing the volume is increasing. You know, we don't put like plotting the raise on this guy, but look at this. We're gonna go what 20th in that one. Not wild, but decently going up. I think November 16th was my first video that I posted. Right there. And then there. But that is really cool to see the increase in volume and activity. More liquidity coming in that's outside of the project's own liquidity is going to be healthier to sustain. And no, unfortunately, right now that buyers are down here. We're not comfortable at the $4 price. Every time it touches 4, buyers go away and sellers get happy. So right now, this 296 to 399 channel is kind of where TXC is valued at. That's where buyers are comfortable buying. And until buyers see the value of the mines and the value of the project as things build out and what's going on in Texacoin, that's going to be kind of the thing. And if you're a long-term holder, you're not too worried probably. If anything, you're looking at this as like a blessing because now you're able to buy more. You're not missing out on these huge runs. You have more time to accumulate more coins if you're looking at it in that regard of I need to get as many as I can before 16, 25, 40 or whatever price you're looking to take profit on the investor side or the miner side. But the important thing to remember is that it is worth buying. If you believe in that higher price, you have to be comfortable buying at this lower price. And until there's the consistency in buying, we are not going to be there. But when you are looking at the overall consistency and direction of the project, TXC has been going up basically ever since its inception, ever since it got on the exchanges and started trading. It has been moving up in price and hasn't broke out of this long-term uptrend. So for investors on that side, it is a buy all when I can all, and especially if it's under this downtrend, you are at a quality value for buying it, supporting this, and then this is your discount. This is going to come to an end eventually. So if things don't drastically change by the end of December, to break out of this downtrend, we might look at something a little bit more worrisome. I don't see that. It has honored this $3 price every time. There is a lot of buyers who step in, and then once they step in and get excited about 3 and 310 and 320 and 330 on the way up, the price really moves quick. So once buyers decide that they're in, whether it be that they're buying TXC for Christmas or after they've done all their Christmas shopping and they realize that they have enough money to come in and buy more. However your investment strategy is, again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I really like this project and I want to see people get in because there's opportunity here to make money in the long term and short term if you're trading. Whether you're trading it back and forth or, if you're buying now and waiting for 10, this is 3 times your money and you're not going to be able to get that. In many positions that are going to get the return as quickly as TXC will. If you're looking at $10 by the end of next year, even at a very conservative um, growth rate based on what could, should, and all would happen, um, the linear growth based on this project, you're seeing something between $7 and $10 next year at the end of the year, and that's 3 times your money right now. It is a load all when you can, if you believe in that. If you believe that that's what's coming, there's no reason to not buy it right now. Obviously we would love to see this uptrend, and we just want to make sure that we don't lose this one, and break this downtrend with some more momentum. Again, everybody, it is really cool to see everybody getting active and liking the learning of investing for yourself. No need to give the banks your money and let them make it all when there's money for you to be made and grow future financial wealth. So this definitely went a little bit longer than I wanted. Again, I just wanted to apologize for last night's video. I did not check. I did not check it before I started it, but I thought I had the mic situation handled and fixed. I do have the mic really close to my face because I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So I apologize for that one. Part of what came out of that, if you are still watching, was I was doing a little appreciation giveaway. I don't have a huge following yet, but I do appreciate all the kind words that everybody has given me and the excitement behind it. So I wanted to do a little bit of a giveaway. I stopped by one of the casinos on the way home last night, and I threw $50 on what the community voted for. I have a Discord channel who the Discord channel voted on which color to bet. Put 50 on black, and we did not hit. So, unfortunately, I could not give away 10 TXC, but I am going to be giving away 4 TXC. I want to reward one of my YouTube subscribers and make it random and fair. And I'm having a hard time finding the full list. I can only get partial lists. I can't get all 46. So, once I figure out how to find that list of everybody, I'm going to bless somebody with 4 TXC that is a subscriber. Again, right now you're sitting here saying, "Oh, it's $3.20. That's barely a $12, $15 gift. Woohoo!" It's just the beginning. One for TXC. That thing could easily be $30 one day if you hold on to it, and me as well. If this thing gets traction or whatever, and I can find some success in making these videos, I'd love to give away more. If it turns into something great, or if TXC makes me rich one day and I can buy an island, I'll give away plenty more coconuts. So hope everyone's having a good day, has a good weekend, and let's see some buying momentum start the rally. Be really cool during the Dallas holiday parade going on. You're gonna see people handing out Texacoin. There's TXC sponsored it and pretty much saved the event from happening. They were not going to be able to move all of the street lights and signals and stuff because that is really expensive, and they were short money. And TXC stepped in and provided the money for that. And so you're going to see TXC wrapped vehicles all over the place. You're going to see people in TXC swag, and I believe they're actually handing out TXC coins with a TXC loaded on it. Should be pretty exciting to see the reaction of that. I know all the kids are going to wish they had candy, but give that to your mom and dad. Let them put that in your college fund, and maybe one day it'll pay for your college. So have a good weekend, everybody. I'll see you next time. Hope this video was better audio. And again, I will work on that, even if I have to get rid of this mic and go with the basic camera and then just yell at you guys. So have a good one.